Yeah,
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Self Achievement Network. My name is Dominic, and I am here with our marketing guru, Sharif Youssef. Hello, Sharif. How are you, man?
I'm very well. Dominic, how are you doing?
I'm doing so awesome. Doesn't get any
Happy
better than this.
Friday.
I have to tell you this. This is funny. I was at the supermarket, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and there's a guy that works in there. And you'd think that this guy is like a little off his rocker, right? So every time that I see him in there working, he's stocking shelves. He's got his, that little handheld thing that it's like it checks the quantity that's still on the shelf. So he's like scanning the code as he goes down the aisle. Beep. If it looks low, he goes beep. And so, I mean, he's doing this, right? And every time I see him, the first time I saw him, actually, I said, "Hey, man, how's it going?" He said, "Doesn't get any better than this." And I'm like, kind of short circuited, right? Because he's a dude working in the supermarket, but he's
Yeah.
consistently like that. I see him all the time. And hey, man, how's it going? It doesn't get any better than this. He's like so into the moment. And, preconceived notions in our brain about, can't possibly be happy working in the supermarket, right?
Of
But
course.
he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
anyway, hello
That's good.
everyone, and welcome to the Self Achievement Network. Thank you for joining me again, Sharif. Today, we're going to be talking about networking, business networking,
Yeah.
just like that says right up there on that sign, right? Whoops,
Mhm.
wrong side. Networking. It's important. It's not about network marketing. No, this is about networking and why that's so important and how you can benefit when you engage yourself. Isn't that really the whole thing, Sharif?
Absolutely. It's business people, and maybe potential clients, maybe potential customers, and that these benefits that give you opportunities and knowledge about your industry, about other industries, and definitely opportunities for business as well.
Yeah, the first time that I was like out of the Navy, out of college, and someone said, "Why don't you come to our networking event?" I didn't. I was in my early 20s. I was like, didn't really even know what that meant. And I'm like, networking event. Did you have a similar experience? And when's the first time you heard of this whole concept of networking?
Well, I heard of it when I started to work independently. Obviously, I heard of it before that. Actually, maybe about a few years back, maybe like 7, 8 years ago or something. But I started engaging in these events more and more once I became independent. It is all these efforts that you as a business owner, you try to meet new people, try to get new insights about the market, about your industry itself. But it is an important thing, I believe, especially for small business owners, because it gives them a lot of opportunity to know new people, get themselves known in the market, and try to establish a relationship that is probably going to be beneficial for both ends.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Absolutely. Go ahead.
sorry. No, no, it's fine. Go ahead. I was just going to talk about these how these they can give you a lot of benefits. Like for example, if you keep aware of the latest trends in the market, or you are um, got to know or got introduced to someone who's just new to the city or new to the area, and they have a product or a service that they would like to sell, and then you have something that can complement that. So it's all about it is network. The two words, they actually make perfect sense. Net and
Hmm.
work.
Hmm. Like throwing out a fishing net, right? and
Yeah.
it takes work because you got to show up in order to benefit from it. I just want to make a quick announcement. I just posted in the thread the link for people to allow this software called BeLive software to allow your name to be up on the screen, because you have to give them that permission. Facebook just doesn't allow that. So that I just posted. And also, I wanted to say that Sharif and I talked a little bit before we went live, and one of the things that we're really working hard at doing is doing things differently. And so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be awarding 2 prizes. Okay, he's got one and I've got one. So I'll let Sharif, you can tell them about your prize, if you will, and it's all about participation, right? Putting yourself
Yes.
out there, engaging in this conversation. If you've got questions, you need to type them in so that the person who engages the most in this conversation gets the
You got the
opportunity
prize.
to win the prize. So what's your prize?
Yeah. So it is going to be like a free 30-minute conversation. And the reason for this is that we'd like, or I'd like to offer people an opportunity to sort of find out more about their marketing and how they're doing, and you know, give them some insights of things that they may want to consider. So you can consider it as a mini micro assessment maybe, but it is something that I'd like to give to the most participants in the conversation for free, where I will give them. I will have a 30-minute conversation with them, and I will provide them with some thoughts and insights and tips for their with regards to their marketing.
Great, which is really important because if you've got a business and you get a little bit stuck, you can reach out to Sharif, and you can actually do that anytime. However, this is a 30-minute right conversation, a little bit more in depth. So my prize is similar, and what I'm going to be doing, I've got a little mini course. It's called Life Plan 1.0. Many of you may know that I've got a program called Life Plan 2.0, which is a 185 page workbook, right? And a coaching group. That's different. Life Plan 1 is a little mini course to get people started, to get them out of that starting gate, to get them going. So I'm going to be giving away one of those, and yeah, cool. So let's go to the networking, and I'm just like was thinking about it yesterday and this morning. Like, that's such a big giant topic, and there's so many benefits to engaging in networking. It's like
Yeah, and
it's
not only
crazy.
benefits. If you look at it, it's not only benefits, it is important as well. So, like I said, if one thing is that you're creating awareness about yourself, and you're keeping at an arm's length with whatever is happening in the market, and especially with regards to your industry specifically, because you can choose the type of networking event that you can go to, and definitely you will go to one that relates to your industry, and it can also provide you with some mentoring or contacts that can who can assist you with whatever problems you might have. So these are, I think, very important things, and very important factors when you are considering going networking. Also, one of the other thing is taking advantage of other people's viewpoints and other experiences as well. So if you're thinking of, let's say, exporting a product or importing a product or something, you may be able to get some valuable advice from someone who's already done that. Not only that, you can not only the advice, you can also find someone that can help you with that venture. So many things that make them very important, make the networking events very important, especially when you're small to medium business.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I remember over the years I've attended, I can't even tell you how many, hundreds and hundreds of networking events. And in the beginning, it was, oh, I mean, I need a business card. Oh, okay. So, then I was hustling to get the business card made up. And then it's when you shake somebody's hand, you meet somebody new, it's what do you call that? The elevator speech, which is like the 30-second
Absolutely.
thing, and coming up with that, and going through that process, and that's all great stuff. And then getting there, and it's like, oh, I'm kind of a shy person,
Yeah, yeah.
and
But but definitely these tips, I mean, starting with what you just said about the elevator speech, it's really important. 30-minute thing, work on you. and I call it work on you. It's that elevator speech where you have these 30 seconds just to say who you are, what you do, how you can benefit the person, and how you can add value, basically.
Hmm.
And that's very very important. And when you're doing any net when you are participating in a networking event.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you ever read this book? I don't. You can't see it, but it's called The
no,
Little Red Book of Selling by Gitomer, Jeffrey Gitomer. Have you ever heard of that book?
I have. I have.
He's got a great section in here about networking, and he says in there that one of the things that you should do when you go to a networking event is like to pre-plan who do you want to meet, who do you want to get introduced to, okay, and
Bang
who
on.
benefits you, to make a list of these are the types of people, so that when you're there it's not like you're just walking around with your hands in your pocket, you're on a mission,
Right.
right?
Yes,
So that's what I would recommend
absolutely.
for people in this group to do, is to go through the member list and say, okay, who do I need to meet so that I can, elevate and evolve my passion, and begin to, you know, get things moving even faster. So
Yeah,
it's
have a
important.
goal. Have a like you said, you're going on a mission. Have a goal. Who are your target people? Just make sure that you know how many people. Also, one very important thing that I learned over the years: don't go looking for or talking with everybody and anybody. Make them selective. You
Yeah.
know, instead of going after like 20 or 30 people in the event, go after five or six,
Hmm.
because it's much more substance and much more worthy of your time and the other people's time in just to have a good conversation and try to get something out of it. But going on, from one person to another, like meeting to 20, 30 people, and just quick, and there's no real substance to it. So you don't get something out of it, and they don't get something out of it, and then both parties will be frustrated at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
important. I think that the idea is to get yourself introduced and be clear about what you're doing, and using the network to your greatest advantage. And the crazy thing that I've noticed is that, so here we are, we're in a network, there's 3,000 people in here. And then there's always, I mean, in any group, there's a certain number of people that are going to engage, and there's a percentage. So in the back end of this, um, Facebook, anyone can go back there. Well, anyway, anybody that's either an admin or a moderator in the group can go back there and take a look at what's happening, who they are, their what's it called, their the metrics. They're female, they're male, they're this age. What is that stuff called? Demographic.
Demographics.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many advantages, and
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
um,
I I would say that there are maybe a few tips that basic tips that I would say that people just need to make sure that they're doing, because these are really the basic tips. So work on you, like choose your elevator speech or prepare your elevator speech, and then choose a goal. Also have an icebreaker, or prepare some icebreakers. Not all conversations will start the same way, so just be ready to have a different icebreaker with different people. Um, Once you're done, find a reason to follow up. Um, with an email, with a phone call, with whatever it is, and try to stay positive in the conversation. Don't be selfish, obviously. Try to have a conversation, really, not a lecture, one-way lecture. And don't be shy. Ask for what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. So I guess these are just a few basic tips that if people use, they will definitely help their networking cause.
absolutely. Let me ask you another thing. So, what are some of the different types of networking events that happen out there in the world? I mean, I think about golf course, right? So, I mean, that
That
people
is
may
a
not
great
think
question.
about that as a networking event, but it is, isn't it?
A venue could be a golf course, and I've attended networking events in golf courses.
Yeah.
So Yeah, a venue could be a golf course, but it's a great question, and one of them I would say the most popular one I think would be the business seminars or the yeah, business seminars mainly, and they have been sort of changed these days into digital webinars type of thing. There's also the networking groups. There are a lot of networking groups, and they can be local groups with not a lot of people, maybe 20 people, 25 people or something, and they're local in a specific area. And there's also the professional associations like the chambers of commerce or the boards of trade. These can be these can have a bigger type of events as well.
What about events that are online versus ones that, there's all, I mean, I see groups now popping up everywhere. It's crazy. And they're doing these rooms, and, this is all since we've got the COVID going on, and I mean, why is it important to jump into those kinds of things?
Well, it is important, and it's also advisable to choose which ones. So it is important again to because of the same benefits or importances that we've mentioned about the networking in general, which is to get to know people, to gain latest information, get some market trends, and so on. But it is also good to be selective in the ones that you attend, because again, you don't want to burn yourself. You don't want to attend each and every event or webinar that comes your way.
Hmm.
The same thing with the physical seminars or networking groups. It's the same thing. Maybe just try to be selective. Choose the ones that you think you find yourself in them, and that you really can add benefit and can gain benefit from using them.
Hmm.
One other thing that I must say is that choosing a goal is very important, because going there with one intention of coming out with business, it doesn't really work. Growing the network should be your ideal goal, or your perfect goal. You want to grow your network, and then from growing your network, this is how you will get business. But if you are going to attend a seminar, or be participating in a networking group with one sole objective of getting business, it's not going to happen.
Right. Well, I think that we could probably do at least probably a 1 or 2 hour workshop on the things that you should do or you shouldn't do at a networking event. And I certainly in the beginning didn't do a lot of things that I learned to do later on, and like just for going there with a plan, right? I'm going to meet certain people. I'm not going to waste my time on people. I don't know. I mean, if you go, I mean, I've been to so many of them. Like I was never into, for example, photography, right? And there were always a photographer there going around taking pictures of people in the group. And I used to think, how silly is that? But this guy had so much business. Just bringing his camera and taking shots of these people, because everybody needs a headshot. Everybody has an event at the office or something that they need a photographer there for. And as a matter of fact, I ended up calling this guy and had photographs taken, and he was very reasonable. So I mean, the benefits are really endless. It's really about having a plan. Who am I going to meet, or who do I need to meet? What's going to be my offer? How do I set up additional meetings? Asking the right questions. This is a thing that I learned when I was reading this Gitomer book when I was working in Cairo, and it was that when you go to a networking event, especially if there's a speaker, right? The most beneficial thing that you can do as a participant there is to, when there's a speaker up in front of the room, to listen to what they're saying and then come up with a great question, right? Why a great question? Because you're going to get back a great answer if you ask a great question. If you ask a stupid questions, you're going to look stupid. And all that part of me. But here's the thing. So I would go to these networking events, right? And as there was a speaker up in front of the room, I'd be sitting there listening and trying to formulate a question about their topic. Now, why do that? Let me ask you, Sharif.
Because you want, first of all, you want to show the people that you are attending for the event, because I mean you want to participate in the event, and then you want to show the people as well that it's not just about going out or going somewhere where there's a lot of people, meeting new people and having a drink and then going home. No, it's not about that. And then it will add value to your conversation with whoever you have a conversation with afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that, and if I may, so if there's always somebody who has questions at the usually at the end, right? So I always would put my hand up in the air, and it was amazing because it didn't matter how many people were there. Sometimes there was 10 or 15, sometimes there was 20, 30, and even more, 50, 60, 100 people, right? So I would want to get my question answered, and I was very intentional, like putting my hand up there, way up there, like not like raising my hand, like like you can't see me, but right, like halfway up, right? No, I raised my hand really far so that the guy or the speaker would notice me, right? So then I had the undivided attention of every person at that event, and I
Absolutely.
instantly got to introduce myself to every single person there.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dominic. I'm here working in Cairo as a consultant doing performance training for, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I would turn to the speaker and I would say, my question is this. And it would be a great question. So now, what did I just accomplish right there?
You accomplished many things. Like you said, you got the undivided attention of everybody. You've introduced yourself. You've put out your elevator speech. You've actually gone into the minds and brains of a lot of people there who are actually looking for someone to do performance training or coaching or consulting. So yeah, you've just sold, or at least made a pitch.
Yeah,
50% of it. Yeah.
exactly. And you would not believe what happened after that speaker got done. It happens all the time. This is such a brilliant thing to do. So when I after the speaker, thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna have a wonderful evening. Da 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 da. There's drinks in the corner, blah blah blah. Right. So people would come up to me, right, and it was like the cream of the crop. Those of who, like you just said, that were interested in what I had to offer, they would come to me and start asking me questions. And I got invited one time to the oh my God, what's it called? The United Nations there in Cairo by the director, right? And he said, would you come to my office? I would really like to talk with you. We've got this going on, that going on. And I went there, and I mean, it happened right before the revolution. So nothing ever came of it, unfortunately. But this guy was amazing. He's like, my mission is to eradicate poverty in this country. And all of a sudden, I mean, my brain was just like off the charts. Like, how am I going to help this guy? And how many amazing people would I get to meet just by raising my hand, asking a question, and doing that one thing? Benefit.
It's a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing to do that. It's asking that very important, very very key question that would get people to try to reach out to you afterwards.
That's right. So for those of you who are watching, we had not just all the benefits, we had a great big tip. So you're very welcome for that. I'll send you a PayPal request for that one. I know that you're very involved there in Toronto. And so anyway, I don't want to keep you anymore. I know you got to go. And So if you guys have any questions for Sharif, just type them into the thread or reach out to him in Facebook Messenger and rock and roll. Okay.
And don't forget the freebie.
The freebies, right? So, all right. Talk to you later, man. Be well. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much. Take care. Happy Friday.
Bye for all of us here in the Self